Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss my conclusions that I've drawn from studying American history. Conclusions which some you won't agree with, maybe none of them, but you should know about the people, events, and places I discuss and the concepts. So, we're going to talk today. The American Army spent an agonizing winter of 1777 and 1778 at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, while the British lived it up in Philadelphia. From January to June of 1778, the German volunteer Baron von Steuben instilled discipline and tactical skill in the remnants of the starving Continental Army. It is here that the legendary vision of Washington is said to have taken place, where he saw that America would become a great nation and also saw more of its future. Later in the war, tradition has it that Washington was baptized by Baptist minister John Gano, to whom Washington also gave his sword. In the lobby of the John Gano Chapel on the campus of William Jewell College in Liberty, Missouri, is a portrait depicting the alleged baptism, which is highly controversial according to many historians. And there's also the sword that the French volunteer, the Marquis de Lafayette, had given to Washington, and that he himself had given to Gano. Washington's personal chaplain, Washington's personal chaplain, is also there. That sword, excuse me. Like Lincoln, there were many contradictory accounts of his religious faith or lack thereof, based on the religious beliefs or lack thereof in the historian doing the writing. I suggest reading James Beller's America and Crimson Red. On February 6, 1776, France and America had signed a treaty of alliance for commerce and for war. And on June 17th, war broke out between France and England. Only now the Americans were on the French side. The British evacuated Philadelphia on June 28, 1778. Washington's Continental Army, hardened by Baron von Steuben's drilling and inspired by Washington's leadership, stood for man against the British Imperial Army at the Battle of Monmouth in New Jersey, and the British troops withdrew from the field after a bitter day of fighting, and both armies bivouacking on the field, and the legendary heroism of Molly Pitcher during the battle, manning a cannon after her husband succumbed to either heat or a wound. Guerrilla warfare dominated the war in the northern, central, and western parts of the North American colonies in 1778 and 1779, with Tory and Indian atrocities like the Wyoming Valley Massacre and the Cherry Valley Massacre, and the operations of George Rogers Clark, which secured for the colonies the entire region of the Alleghanies to the Mississippi, an area larger than the 13 original colonies. Finally, on June 21st, 1779, Spain declared war on England, but refused to recognize American independence, in a crafty political move, not wishing to accept this independent nation, which was so much a threat to its own colonies. In the South, between 1778 and 1779, we see Savannah, Georgia, captured by the English, and war with Tories and their Indian allies wreaked havoc on the southern colonies. French Admiral d'Estaing besieged Savannah, and a failed attempt to take it by patriots resulted in the death of, among 800 others, Polish Count Casimir Pulaski, who has a fort at Savannah named after him. With d'Estaing's withdrawal, the patriots' morale dropped, as did their confidence in the French. Britain focused on the southern United States. We're going to talk starting next time about the war at sea, and then move on to more political and military events. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll dig into American history and become conversant in it. Thank you.